So Bangladesh have sprung India an unpleasant surprise by winning the first T20I at Delhi against significant odds, given they were without their star players in Shakib Al Hasan and Tamim Iqbal, and they've created history beating India for the first time in T20 internationals. A full review point by point of where India got it wrong and where Bangladesh managed to ace this encounter on ESPN Cricinfo Matchday. Right, let's start with the Bangladesh chase itself. We'll go backwards in this game. We'll first try and figure out exactly what worked for Bangladesh in this chase. Now, target of 149 did seem at half-time at India had something to bowl at least with the late surge towards the end with their batting. And we look at how Bangladesh started. They did lose the early wicket of Liton Das, and in spite of that, they managed to recover. Mohammad Naeem on debut, and Soumya Sarkar, who took on the key role of batting at 3 in Shakib's absence, managing to stitch together a partnership of 46 in pretty good time. That gave Bangladesh 45 runs in their power play, a start better than that of India's, who managed just 35 in theirs. Then in the middle overs, they went at a run a ball, but they lost just the one wicket, which was key given that they had Mushfiqur Rahim at the crease, and then eventually that late surge when Mushfiqur took Khalil Ahmed on and ensuring that the chase would be secured by Bangladesh. Speaking of Mushfiqur, he took his time as well. It's always easier when the batsmen were chasing. India weren't quite sure what pace to go at. We saw that with the Shikhar Dhawan innings and Rishabh Pant in the middle too. But as far as Mushfiq goes, started steady. You're only seeing a late surge towards the end. Between balls 31 to 43, there were Mushfiqur's managed to hit 31 runs, including 4 boundaries of Khalil Ahmed in the penultimate overs. So that's how he's managed the chase. And here he is now, a man who brings, who India seemed to bring out the best in terms of international cricket, speaking on what he felt was key to Bangladesh's chase.
If someone, any batsman that we had a chat in our team meeting also, because the batsman only knew what is going through in the pitches, so no one will know from the dugout or the next batsman. So the best what the batsmen are in, they will know what the difficulties is there. So I think I had a chat in myself and also with the Shomo that if one of our set batsmen till we are straight till 90th over, still we lose the game, we can take it on. But at least we are taking the game deep, and last 2 overs, even 20 runs or 25 runs, we knew last 2 overs they will bowl seamers. So that will be a bit easier than rather than hitting for a spinners for 20 runs. So we try to stick our game plan, and it worked.
Now, whichever way you look at it, Khalil Ahmed's 19th over proved to be decisive, and Mushfiqur Rahim managed to hit him for 4 consecutive boundaries. And Rohit Sharma, who's normally hailed as quite an astute tactician in 2020 cricket, doesn't quite make the sort of tactical errors that we saw in the first game. Leaving one bowler for 3 at the death, it did raise questions. Khalil Ahmed bowled the 7th over and then came back to bowl the 15th, 17th and 19th over. 3 overs at the death, straight up to a batsman who was well set. It didn't was well for Khalil Ahmed. He did manage to go for just 14 in the first 2 of those overs and get the wicket of Soumya Sarkar. The question was posed to Rohit as to why he kept his left-arm seamer for 3 straight at the death.
Looking at their batting lineup, after number 3, there were 3 guys who were right-handers, and I wanted to keep him to bowl to the right-handers, taking the ball away from them. Because we saw on the pitch, when you use those cutters, it was going away and it was gripping a little bit. So that was the thought process, and I didn't wanted our spinners to bowl towards the back end. I kept 1 over of Chahal because, he has bowled in that situation before. And 2 right-handers, I would take that chance any day with Chahal taking the ball away from them. So that was the idea, behind keeping Khalil for the back end. But again, it all depends on how the game is going. If we had 2 right-handers early, I might have brought him early. Yeah. And even today we saw 148 was a good score. We would have defended it if we were smart on the field. Couple of decisions that we didn't make right on the field that went against us. And that batsman got a 50 towards the end. So that was probably where we lacked in terms of decision making.
So Rohit Sharma also admitting that in his review of the game that India's decision making wasn't at its best, and a few errors that did cost India, none more dearly than the 10th over when Mushfiqur Rahim should have been out LBW to Yuzvendra Chahal not once but twice, had India only chosen to use a review at the time. There's also a half chance with a run out, and of course most significantly Yuzvendra Chahal gave India another chance against Mushfiqur in the 18th over when there was a chance put down a deep mid wicket of Krunal Pandya. At that point the equation 33 of 16, and it would have significantly tilted the favour of the chase in India's balance. As it turns out, opportunities that India would come to regret. But if we are to look back at what else India can take from this game in terms of critical assessment, and we look at India's batting, which didn't really get off the blocks, it again seemed like they were trying the old approach of setting up a platform and going big, and it didn't quite work for them. They didn't go hammer and tong. It was a difficult pitch, as we did notice, but the fact that Bangladesh did eventually manage this chase with 7 wickets to spare does put things in perspective of how India batted on their own. We look at their own innings breakdown, and you see a power play score of 35. I did mention that Bangladesh managed 45 in their chase, and then between overs 7 and 10, the run rate at 8.5, Shreyas Iyer came in and took the initiative straight away. And then you have the key phase where Shikhar Dhawan, Rishabh Pant struggled to get the boundaries away. Between overs 11 and 18, just 49 runs, 3 wickets lost as well, and an economy rate of, or rather a run rate of just 6.12. Now, courtesy Krunal Pandya and Washington Sundar, they did manage a few quick runs at the end, but if only India had managed to go slightly better in those middle overs, they might have had a score that they could have defended. But full credit must be given to Bangladesh's bowlers and the way that their captain Mahmudullah handled them. We just have a look at the breakdown of how the spinners strangled India from start to finish, and you see Aminul Islam, the leg spinner who troubled the right-hand batsman, managed to get the wickets of KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer, which set India back. And then Afif Hussain later on with the wicket of Shivam Dube. More importantly, the spinners did keep Shikhar Dhawan quiet. They caused a period of unrest when Dhawan himself was run out and Rishabh Pant struggled to get it away. There were plenty of left-handers in the middle as well. So Mahmudullah did well to realise that and bowl his off-spinners through that course, and even if it came at the cost of Mustafizur Rahman not completing his full quota, it turned out to be a decision that worked well for Bangladesh. And finally, one takeaway for India would be, in spite of the loss, that Yuzvendra Chahal's return to white ball cricket was a mighty successful one. He had a significant impact on the chase, was brought on at a time when Mohammad Naeem and Soumya Sarkar had rebuilt and were looking dangerous for Bangladesh. Broke that partnership with the wicket of Naeem. Could have had Mushfiqur Rahim twice when Rahim was just in single figures, and conceded just the 11 runs from his first 3 overs. When he came back to bowl a critical 18th over, went for 13, but that included that pivotal drop chance of Mushfiqur Rahim on the deep mid-wicket boundary by Krunal Pandya. Right, so Bangladesh have shown that in spite of not having Shakib and not having Tamim, they still have the goods and the resources to beat India at home. It gives Rohit Sharma and co plenty to think about. He's not used to losing too much as India captain is Rohit Sharma. Questions on team selection, questions on the approach from the batting when India bat first, and as well bowling changes in a tight chase. We'll see how India respond in Rajkot, but the series is very much alive courtesy this historic win from Bangladesh.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the bell icon for notifications.